I'm Filipp. I was born in Münster. It's a city in West Germany. It's close to Dortmund, Düsseldorf, Amsterdam. And I was going to law school in Münster. And then I later on studied in the Netherlands. And then I was getting older and my body started really, was not that good anymore. And I was like, man, what am I going to do when I'm getting older? Because obviously it's kind of, you're practicing all your life and you're getting better, but then you're getting older and then suddenly in sports you're just getting really bad or like worse than before. And I was thinking, yeah, painting could be cool. And I was just going to a store, bought a lot of paint and brushes and started to paint. And I really enjoyed it, and that's how I started painting. So I was not going to art school, and in Berlin I was basically just going to a lot of galleries, museums, and was trying to copy some of my favorite artists, and that's how I kind of learned it. And also I remember when I was a child, my mom was an art teacher, and she was like pretty much teaching me the basics. I guess that was like my access to the art world. But yeah, I don't have formal training or went to art school. Yeah. I see cities as like a big source for inspiration for my paintings. I guess like even the architecture or like the urban planning of a city is like most of the times very well designed and is like a piece of art. Same as like restaurants, bars or like stores. You always have like a set designer who's like putting a lot of thought into it. Also people walking around in the cities, they have like their clothes, they have their fashion. Then you have like the weather and different light. So basically everything that you see in the city is kind of like an art piece. And so if you go to a different city, you have a different art piece. And for someone who's like new there, you're like you're like thirsty for like all these like visual impressions because it's your first time there. And so it's like really easy to put it together. And I think Seoul is a city like that as well, because you have like this particular typography, this like Korean writing that is very special. First days here, I was in the Hongdae district and I was going along the Hongdae walking street a lot. You have a lot of stores, you have a lot of like billboards, you have like colorful buildings, you have like a particular urban design, like very colorful manga, anime like figures that you wouldn't see in Germany or even Hong Kong. They just have a different urban design. So it's, you just walk around, or I walk around, take photos, and that's then at the end what I'm going to put on the canvas. I think there's a natural relation between music and art. There's a lot of artists being musicians and a lot of musicians being artists at the same time. I was approached by some artists, some rap artists, to do their album covers, for example. And if you look in the 90s, for example, all the design of album covers, that's also like a piece of art. So it's like natural for an artist to be into music. At this also, like while you're doing the paintings, but of course like a lot of music, because it's just like, it's nice, it's a luxury, it's a privilege. Because like when you're doing other jobs, like accounting, I think it would be distracting to listen to music. But while painting, it just like works very well, like it goes along. Then my painting technique, I would say it's a little bit like beat making, as I'm also like taking other paintings or like photos and I put them together, like a sample in hip hop basically. Like on Instagram, I'm like following a lot of these like, these Instagram pages that are taking like iconic old school photography. Could be all kind of stuff, but also like 90s NYC classics, for example. So a lot of times you just like find photos that are already like a finished painting. You just have to translate it into paint and your style. So that's definitely a source of inspiration as well. Yeah. I'm drawing inspiration a lot from different media, a lot from music magazines, like books, going out, taking photos. And when I started painting, I was still living in Berlin, and I was in nightlife a lot. Still, I was always interested in basketball and like basketball trading cards or like basketball magazines, or like even watching basketball on TV. So you have a lot of like visuals. That's what inspired me. I'm not painting so many like dark scenes or like suffering. The things that I paint, I feel like they're very like global. It's kind of, it's making me very happy to connect to other people through the medium of the painting. So, for example, I'm painting soul, so people in Korea are going to be like, why does he paint soul? And that's kind of like how you can like start a interaction and a communication with someone all over the world, or same with Hong Kong. Since I'm painting these Hong Kong paintings, I made some friends in Hong Kong, I was traveling there. So I really like this aspect of painting. Yeah, like to summarize, what I paint is basically what I've seen in my life, like the city that I've lived in. Because of my studies, last year me and my family went to Asia, to Japan and Bangkok. And so it's kind of like periodical, depending where I am or like what my interests are, I'm painting. So this exhibition has like 115 works, and it's pretty much a mix of like different periods of my life. It's like some of my earlier works, some of my older works. So it pretty much reflects kind of most of the works that I have done. So people ask me about luck. Am I lucky? And yes, absolutely, I'm lucky. It's interesting because I'm kind of lucky because I was like unlucky maybe before with like my career choice. And some people, they know what they want to do when they're already like 16. They know I want to be like a lawyer, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a singer or something else. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was just like thinking, or I wanted to be like a basketball player, NBA player. But like I didn't reach that goal, and that kind of was lucky because later on I ended up as a painter. At the same time, I was lucky because I think I only started painting because I was living in Berlin. If I would have lived somewhere else, maybe in a city that's like a little bit like more corporate and like less interesting, I wouldn't have started to paint. So that was also lucky. Then of course also I was lucky that I was able to live from my art. So I was able to buy like colors, and I was just able to compete with other artists, with like other galleries, because I could continue to paint every day for 8 hours. So that was a very lucky part. And of course, like I had a lot of friends in Berlin who were always helping me, supporting me, making like crazy stuff so that I could actually promote the art. Later on, I was also lucky with my agents that I had in Paris, who were like very professional and taught me a lot of stuff about the art business. With my family, of course, they were very supportive, and I think like my father, for example, he like bought a painting from me once when I was really like not successful at all, just like to show me a little bit of appreciation or that they're supporting me. My mom, as an art teacher, of course, was also very supportive. And yeah, I think so, of course, yeah, I was lucky that I was able to make a career out of painting. I was at Hongdae. There's like a very artsy, very vibrant, very young district. I already felt a little bit old compared to compared to all the people hanging out there. And then we started the shooting at Gyeongbokgo Palace. There's like an imperial palace in South Korea. Like in the background, you can see the mountains, the American embassies there, like some parliament. Yeah, I was at the imperial palace of Seoul. And yeah, very interesting Asian building with the mountains in the background. I find it funny that everybody was using the umbrella for the sun. Like I don't know why. Like in Europe, nobody's doing that, but actually that's pretty smart. And next day, I was also like at the Han River, I was at a park where a lot of Korean families chilled, and like Korean guys meeting with their girlfriends coming from the military service. That's also something that I remembered. Welcome to the visitors, of course. Thank you very much for being here in Seoul and giving me the chance to show my work. And I just hope that you are able to connect to the works, and it's kind of giving you a memory of something that you like, or a holiday that you liked, of a sport that you do when you were younger, or maybe reminds you of moments that you had with your friends when you were younger in a bar or with your family. And I just hope that you really have a good time here in the museum, that the paintings make you happy, and that they teach you a little bit to see the beauty in the world and to see the beauty in simple things in life. And enjoy the exhibition, have a lot of fun, and save the planet, of course. My message to the audience is have a good time with each other here at the museum, be kind, enjoy the paintings and have fun.